going on? Oh, man. So we're excited to have you guys here today. We just want you to relax and feel welcomed here. I know that we don't judge anybody, and everybody is welcome. We truly are a diverse group of people. So don't stay in your bubble. Get to know somebody afterwards. Get to talk to somebody you haven't talked to last week, and get to know everybody. So we're going to welcome, and I want you to give her a very good welcome, Carolina.
Okay, so
what shot is it?
Do I have words?
What shot? Is it fine?
Do we have words? Okay, let's assume we don't have words. So this is how the melody goes. And all the people, no instruments yet. I'll get to those. And all the people said amen. And all the people said amen. Whoa, whoa, yeah. And all the people said amen. And all the people said amen. Give thanks to the Lord, for his love never ends. Give thanks to the Lord, for his love never ends. And all the people said amen.
All the people said amen.
Okay, now without your instruments, try and just sing that with me, okay? And
all the people said amen.
Whoa, and all the people said amen. Give thanks to the Lord, for his love never ends. And all the people said amen. Okay, that's a good start. I'll do the verses, but once I do them once, you'll be able to get it. I thought there were going to be words. Okay, so like this, I need to be. No, stop. So you keep going. Stop. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh dear. say keep your little thingy. All right, here we go. Okay, this is how this one goes. And this is how the refrain goes, okay? Love will make us a shelter to weather the storm. Just that. Love will hold us together, make us a shelter to weather the storm. And then I'll be my brother's keeper. I will be my brother's keeper. So the whole world knows that I'm not alone. Okay, so love will hold us together, make us sure. And I will be my brother's keeper. Here we go. We don't have to stop. Won't take your bill. Won't buy you a home. This is the first day of the rest of your life, okay? That was fun.
I have to finesse the switch real quick. You are really.
Here, I'll connect this.
Kobe. LeBron, 2006. Well, that was LeBron, 2006.
Steve's listening too? Alright.
You do not want to start your Sunday morning off that way. So, welcome everybody to LIFESPIRATION. We already got kind of a welcome, but we're going to go over our life mission here at LIFESPIRATION. There you go. So I love hearing this every single week, even when I don't come. I actually read this. I helped create it, so I'm kind of proud of it. But our life mission is to inspire and empower. Actually, everyone say this together. It's to inspire
and empower people to thrive in love and truth, creating safe, inclusive, diverse communities that work for all.
So in case you're new, we're just going to break this down really quick. So to inspire and empower people to thrive in love and truth. So love and truth is really what we teach here. That's what we're all about. Loving each other, being part of a greater community, and really seeking out the truth for both ourselves and everyone around us. Not just listening to whatever happens to come down, but actually questioning things, discovering our own personal truths. And following those two, that inspires and empowers us. Love is very inspirational. We've seen that in our daily lives. Every act of love is an incredibly inspiring act. So moving on to the next part, we've got creating safe, inclusive diversities. Yes, we're creating diversities. Creating safe, inclusive, diverse communities that work for all. This is a place where you can come and be safe. I don't know of too many places in this world that you can say that. You can come here and we want you to be completely yourself, in whatever form that is, in whatever way that is. We're inclusive and diverse. I mean, you look around, we come from all different walks of life, we come from all different races, genders, gender preferences, whatever it is, and you're completely safe here. And we're building communities that work for each and every one of us. So that's why we're here, that's what we're here to learn. And without further ado, I will turn the time over to Will. Oh, isn't getting at the end?
Did you pay it? Did you read the thing?
No. I thought it came at the end. I didn't know you changed the order.
No, I gave you a sheet.
Alright, well, before we get on to our favorite person in the world, Will, it's time for giving. This community doesn't work, this church doesn't grow without your contributions. And it's not, I'll just read this quote, but giving is not just about making a donation. It's about making a difference. We need this money to make that difference. Without contributions, without our ability to go and advertise and spread the word about what we're doing here, we don't grow and we can't change the world in the way that we want to. So, do we have the envelopes or whatever else? You can also give online to our people that are live streaming this. What's the specific way that they can give online?
GraceChurch.Vegas.
GraceChurch.Vegas. Is there a specific link they go to?
It'll say
Just
type
donate.
give online.
Perfect, and then give online. So, if you have money, if you have check, money order, we take card as well online. So, however you would like, that would be fantastic, and we appreciate each and everything that you guys do. Everyone got their cards? Anyone need anything? Anyone Anyone need an omelet? Yes.
I do want an omelet.
That would be nice. That's next week. Come back. Not a bad idea. I'm liking this. Pancakes and omelet station. We can have it. Maybe some waffles. All right. Is everyone a waffle or a pancake person? Ooh. Okay. I see that. I guess I'd say I'm more of a waffle person. Are we good? Everyone? Awesome. Well, now on to Will.
Yay. All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning, Will.
Good morning, Will. There we go. I like that.
You want the shakers again?
Yeah, shake
Right?
Just start the driver. That'd be amazing for me to turn it out. All right, so I do want to start with we did music. Unfortunately, our music guest is running behind. We're flexible, so it happens. But a couple announcements for you. Next Sunday's speaker is actually Miss Nevada from 2016.
Oh, wow.
So she's an amazing, amazing woman. She's the first Hispanic Miss Nevada, I guess. It's like a historic thing that happened. So please be here for her if you can. That'd be amazing. We are now live streaming on YouTube. So subscribe to our channel. Anybody have a cell phone with YouTube on it?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Go to YouTube. We're gonna do this real quick. I'm behind schedule. I would like to be behind schedule, but it's okay. We're starting. It's our first Sunday with some new stuff, so it's okay.
We'll just look it up.
And in your search bar, look up Freedom Life Grace Church. And then you should see a logo or our logo.
I don't have YouTube. I'll do it later.
Should say
Wait,
Grace in there.
What we look
Freedom
at?
Life
Oh,
Grace
Freedom
Church.
Life Grace Church. I'm going to subscribe to it.
And,
Oh, there's Steven. They found it.
and if you don't mind,
Alright,
share it on
that's
your
me.
Facebook page.
Should say Grace in there.
Well, that's you guys talking, that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
So share on Facebook. Also, go ahead and check in and use the hashtag union, UNION.
Not to be confused with onion.
It's got a bit of a delay.
Yeah, it's not actual like this moment. It has to get
Freedom
there.
Grace Life or
It's
Freedom
only a
Life?
delay like 5
Freedom Life
seconds.
Grace Church.
Ah, cool.
That's cute.
Awesome.
So if anyone is ever away from us, now you can still be a part online. It's a little chat box and all of that too.
And when Jay Street's naked, we'll be able to.
Hey, it'll be permanently out there.
You said we could come just as we are, Stephen. Oh, no.
So be careful because we don't want to create a feedback loop. So that would suck for our online audience. But thank you for going and subscribing. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if they have that there too. Next, we need more volunteers. So that means showing up a little bit early so that we can have everything ready when everyone gets here. I'm so grateful for our newest volunteers. We've got Miss Emily. Has everyone met Emily?
No.
Go ahead. Yes.
Hi, Emily.
Sorry, is Bible study at 10:30 or is service at 10:30?
So we'll get there in just a second.
Okay.
But Emily has graciously agreed to help us with our live stream and our cameras and stuff and our theatrical productions. And we'll be working together as well on the youth. So we'll have some great stuff going for our young folks. I still think I'm young, but apparently others don't. Finally, yes, we are moving to a 10:30 service time. So what that means for us, September 4th, so not next week, but the week after. Everybody say not next week.
Not next week.
But the week after.
But the week after.
All right, we'll start at 10:30. So music team, I'm asking that you get here at 9:30. You'll have from 9:30 to 10 to sound check and prepare. For those that need to help with setup, if you can be here no later than 8:45, that would be fantastic because we still have to set up and get everything prepared, do the coffee. If someone wants to take on coffee as an assignment, that's fine. You know, we can do it. So, but we do need some more people volunteering at the start of service. We don't clean at the end anymore. We only clean at the front of it.
Because the other church comes behind us.
Exactly, yep. So, new service time beginning September 4th, 10:30 a.m. And now, I have a very special announcement. Can I see if this works?
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. He's a brainless, heartless coward with no power. That's just another trick of his. He ain't no whistle, don't feed his fire. With my balloon, I'll take you higher. Take you somewhere over the rainbow. Take you to the show. He'll stick and here we go. 'Cause you already know there's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Awesome. So our new series will be The Emancipation of Oz, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wizard. I am so excited. Like, this is going to be fantastic. We start that September 11th, which is also our launch event where we invite all our family and friends for Thrive. So this is going to be a really, really cool series. It will take us through Christmas. And I'm not going to give away every bit of it, but we're going to have some cool music, some cool theatrical aspects, and of course the message will be full of grace. So super excited about Oz. Anybody excited about Oz?
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we are in our Managing the Family Business series. We'll conclude it on September 4th, but this is our next to last installment, and it deals with a very important subject. Make love, not war.
Yeah.
Make love, not war. So we don't have any young kids in here. So when I say make love, I'm talking about baby making love. Well. Yeah. We're gonna talk about it. Show you some techniques. But here is our intro.
A lot of people ask me the same question. What is love? For many, this question is asked because they don't want their baby or anyone else to hurt them no more. No more. Truthfully, almost everyone at some point has played their part while another played their game, and they gave love a bad name. Yes, sometimes love stinks, but some choose to ride the love roller coaster anyway. They search everywhere for this crazy little thing called love. They've allowed themselves to be prisoners of love. They are addicted to love, but deep in their soul, they know that they've lost that loving feeling. Oh, that loving feeling. But let's return to the commonly asked question. What is love? Maybe this crazy little thing called love is not so bad after all. Maybe love bites only because we have a poor vision of love. Perhaps there's a groovy kind of love, an endless love. What if, instead of thinking we love somebody, but wanting to know for sure, we could be certain? What if, instead of using, I want to know what love is, we could define it in tangible ways that we could live out? If this were true, perhaps then we could see the power of love.
All right, so we need to define what love is, right? That's a big question for everybody. Dorothy says, why do I want to know what love is? See the theme carrying a preview.
little transition.
All right, so I want to put this out there. Evolution, creation, somebody drew it either way. That is not the topic of discussion today. All right, we are not dealing with evolution or creation. But we do have to start with a foundation of some sort, right? So for this morning, I need y'all not to glaze over. I need you to pay attention. It's a little bit of reading, but we're going to get to the meat of it in a minute, okay?
Okay.
All right, Genesis 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. Then God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God he created them. Male and female he created them. One big thing I want to point out here is both men and women are both created in the image of what we call God. Now you know amen on that.
Amen.
Both men and women are created in the image of God. So when we talk about God, I still say he a lot. I'm trying to fix that and call it God or grace, but I still slip and say he, but God is not a he, God is a spirit. But I want us to take a closer look at this particular passage. In the beginning, God, that word God is Elohim. It's a plural noun for gods with a Z. And then deity, rulers, judges, or angels. So in the beginning, God is not a singular term. Did anybody know that? Yeah. I told you. So in the beginning, we could say the family of gods created the heaven and earth. Now earth was formless and empty, darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the spirit, or ruach, of God, ruach is a feminine noun. Huh. You mean God is feminine? The Spirit of God is feminine. Yeah. The women should be rejoicing up in here. Y'all just like So in the beginning, God and a feminine deity work together in creation. So don't ever let someone tell you a woman isn't equal to a man. So in the beginning, the Ruach of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, that word said is amar, which means to speak, say, or utter. That's going to be important for us in a moment because we'll see a third person in this. Said, let there be light, and there was light. So this is our foundation for us. Understanding that in the beginning, God created us. Now, how God created us is really unimportant to the story today. I don't know if I can stress that enough. I want to look at another passage. This is from John, and it should look really, really familiar. John chapter 1 says, in the beginning, it sounds just like Genesis, doesn't it? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him, all things were made. Without him, nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. No one has ever seen God but the one and only Son, who is himself God and is in closest relationship with the Father, has made him known. So this is really important for us, because what it's saying is the Word was God, and God became flesh and dwelt among us, became a man. That's humongous. But that's not our point today. Some more Greek. I know it's a Greek lesson. It's important. You'll need it. You'll use it when you go to work, I promise. In the beginning, that word beginning is arche. Anybody know what the word archetype means? Same concept here. It's a word which is the absolute beginning of things. In the beginning was the word logos. Logos is something uttered. Remember we talked about Amar? So when we saw Amar, it's the same, that was Hebrew, this is Greek. Same meaning. Talking about the same thing. So in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Now that word with means face to face, or turn toward. So in the beginning, God was faced with God. Stephen, come here real quick. Face that way. This is not what was happening. Now turn towards me.
Oh.
This is what that word pros means. Face to face, in direct relationship with. Thank you.
Will, ladies and gentlemen.
So in the beginning, the Word was face to face with God, and the Word was God. Now, I will note here, if you've ever had a Jehovah's Witness come to your door, anybody had that? They'll turn to this passage in the Bible, but it'll say, and the Word was a God. It's not a God. In the Greek, there's no a before this. The Word was God. Whatever you call God is what the Word is. I'd say whatever it is that created all of this that we know as existence is God. We don't have to label it beyond that. The creator of all things, the source. So in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the arche, in the absolute beginning of all things. He was there, so it's an uncreated thing. So we see God, the Spirit, and the Word as one. In the beginning, creating everything. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. So they didn't do anything apart from one another. Earlier we were singing some songs, and there was no song apart from Carolina and the piano, right? There was no music made that Carolina was not part of. But guess what? There was no music that was made that y'all weren't part of, with little shakers and tambourines and all that. You guys were in cahoots, working together to create this music. And that's what happened in the beginning with God. God was with God creating all that is. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I love the last line.
So there's multiple gods, but they're one at the same time?
Yes.
And we call all of that the Word?
We call all of that God. The Word is one person of God.
Okay, so
I think they're saying they're facets.
like a single entity.
They're looking at kind of like a facet, like there's the God,
Yeah.
but there's the Spirit, the Word, I think, right? Like, you got
Yes,
the whole-
yes, but I want to take it even a step further and say it's three persons. So it's three people that are God. Okay, I have Jay come up here. Come here.
Well, not people.
Three persons.
More persons, yeah. Got it. I'm with you.
This is your pastor.
Mm-hmm.
I like the pastor's glasses.
But we're still separate people.
Got it. Okay.
Thank you.
I feel you.
All right, so this is important for us. We're done with Greek for the day. Kind of-ish, a little.
Are we ever really?
No. But there's no place like home. There's no place like home. What I want you to see is, the big point, the big picture is, God, the creator of all things, is a relational being. Everything that exists is from the foundation of relationship. You don't exist because God needed someone to serve him. You don't exist because God was bored. You exist because the life that God enjoyed was so fantastic that God wanted to share it. And as we saw in Genesis, you're created in the exact same likeness and image, which means you are created to share in life or relationship with other people. Yes?
So, like, I'm completely with you that that's why everything got created, but does it say anywhere, or at least give inklings to that's why God created everything?
Yes. We may or may not touch on it in a minute.
Okay.
Trying to remember, like, what's in the slideshow? So, all right. So you were made for love. You were made out of love. You are the fruit of love. When God was with God's self, it's like, oh my gosh, this life is so amazing. I want to share it. And so out of that life became the cosmos. And the cosmos is ever expanding. As you guys know, it's like, just keeps growing and growing. Well, because love never ends. 1 Corinthians, love never fails. You say love never ends. So you are absolutely made for love. And love is the word we use to describe the life of God. If you want a simple definition of love, that's it. Love is the word we use to describe the life of God. The relationship that God had with the Son in the beginning, the relationship that God had with the Spirit in the beginning, we call love. Do you think that God ever argues with God's self? No. Does God hold a grudge against God? Does God stab God in the back?
That could get ugly.
Well, if it's Greek gods, then yeah. But for us, we're made to share in that same type of life. That's why we exist. Love can't be contained. So to kind of go to your question, that's how we know that's why we exist, because love had to have an expression. So a little trivia for you. In that black bag, there should be a whole bunch of words on paper. I want you to hand out, like, just quickly and pass them down the road. So we're going to do a little trivia, and I want you to read your word, and I want you to tell us whether it's love or it's a bad word, right? Sin. Uh-oh. And people can have a couple, just give us a stat.
Thank you.
Is there a third option? Can I say neither?
Andy Jones.
Oh, snap or cry.
Okay, we'll call it not love.
But
Love or not love.
I mean, you gotta need to know in between.
Not today.
I ain't
All right, I'll have you start. What's your word and where do you want to put it?
I got another one, hold on. Oh, I'm gonna put this one over here. I'm gonna put both of them here.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Oh,
Yeah, I'm right.
union and sex are mine. I'm gonna put both of them as love.
Okay. You got to.
I got union and sex.
Union and sex under love. Let's see if that's gonna be right.
so I have bondage which is definitely not love.
Okay.
So
Is, wait a minute, is not
I
love,
mean-
wait a minute, I
Depends on
want
what
to
you're
clarify because that's how my brain works. Is not love meaning it's not what the definition of love is, or it's sin? You said sin when you first said it.
So sin is the absence of love.
Oh.
So there's no love in that word, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Got it.
So my second one, I think, is kind of a neutral word,
Okay.
personally, but
Well, then I'm gonna write it in a different color just because you're pushing it.
religious.
Religious.
Yes.
Oh, no, go back. Okay, sorry.
I'm not helping you. Do what you're saying.
In between.
In between? Okay, let's do. Oh, no.
I'm kind of on the fence about it.
Yeah, we're on the fence, we'll put it in the middle. All right, give us 2 words.
Self-sacrifice.
Chain's hitting the
I say
microphone.
Thank you.
That's love. Self-sacrificing. Oh, that's bad news right here.
That is love.
According to Beyonce, it is.
Okay.
Drunkenness is not love.
Okay.
I don't
Not
know, when you're
murder.
in, when you're in.
The not love column is sounding kind of
Not
funny.
love.
Oh,
The
it's not that
first
one.
stages it is.
It's murder.
It's not love.
Not love.
Murder.
Guys, listen to the words.
And wrath is not love.
Yes, just had a fun with
All right, what's your word?
Punishing the not love.
Not love.
Hurts me more, it's gonna hurt.
Spoken like a true son.
That's me.
Life.
Life.
That's love.
Gail, there's still time, Trey.
Some people don't see it.
You think
Joy.
punishing is
Joy.
good?
Which one? I'd say love.
I don't think punishing is ever.
It hurts you. It hurts you.
No, not punishing.
What's your word?
Oh, I got true.
Judgment.
True.
Yeah.
Love or not love?
Correction.
True love. Hey.
Let's pay
Yeah,
attention to the
correction.
word, guys.
Yeah.
True.
I got true love, so I'm true. True. So, you know, true love, get it? See? Right?
And then,
Yeah.
that.
All right.
Kind.
Kind. Love or not love?
I would say love.
This love column is getting full.
That's a good thing.
All right.
Spiritual.
Spiritual. Love. My handwriting is legible. Okay. Sorry, Diana.
Self-control.
Self-control. Love or not love?
Love.
I got honest, I'm gonna put it under love.
Good.
Doesn't always feel like love.
Yeah. Not always perceived as love.
True.
I've got 2 words, patient, I'll put that under love, and demanding, put that under not love.
I got self-serving,
Love or not love?
not love. Forgiving, love.
Forgiving for love.
Freedom. Love. Controlling,
Oh, damn.
Right. Controlling love or not love?
not love.
Do we have any words left out there?
Lie.
Lie. Love or not love?
Nah. It's not love.
You sure?
Humble. That's love. Correction. That's love.
Yep, see, correction.
Faithful. That's love.
So, I didn't even get one.
That's it. Okay, so we got a ton of words. But we have this one random word in the middle. We don't know what to do with. So Steven, we're coming back to you. That's your word. You gotta choose. You gotta choose you this day.
I mean, historically, it's been not love.
Okay.
But aren't we
Yeah.
here
I'd say not.
kind of making one almost?
Pick one.
Not love.
Is that your choice, or are you giving in to peer pressure?
Peer pressure.
Pressure. Which one do you think is love?
I mean, it's a transition. Religion and all religions have started as love.
Religion's not
Yes.
faith, though.
But religion,
So religion is based on faith.
It's a relationship with God. It's supposed to be
No.
intended.
Supposed to be.
Religion's
Supposed to
based
be.
in dogma.
That's what it.
It's not.
That's what it turns
Religion
into.
is
What it
not
turns into.
religion.
Oh.
It's not relationship, look up the definition. It's not relationship.
Okay, so for the sake of time, this was a great like social experiment because that is exactly what happens with religion.
Well, that's why it turns into not love, because it becomes controlling, it becomes a lot of other things that
Yeah.
we don't accept. But, you know,
What did Siri say?
Siri's gonna weigh in?
It's the belief in and worship of a superhuman and controlling power, especially in personal God,
I mean,
personal God or gods.
That's something not love.
So what happens with religion is it creates, like I love the idol, we have the divide. It's love, it's not love. It's supposed to be love, it's not supposed to be love. That's religion in a nutshell. Yes, the dictionary definition is what we do. You know, worship of a quote unquote deity and all of that. But religion itself has become a very not love thing. Because it lacks freedom. Freedom should be over here somewhere. Yeah, lacks freedom. So when we're dealing with what love is, I want to know what love is. When we're dealing with love, I agree with everything on this side. Even sex can be love, but it could also end up in the not love column if it's used out of place. I gotta hurry up because we're almost out of time here. But that's the end of our trivia. Thank you guys for playing along. Give me some hands. All right, so we're going to deal with the subject of union because sex at its core is a union. So for those of y'all that ain't unified yet, stay ununified till you get married. Amen. Amen. All right, so this is from Ephesians. It says, "For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. This is a profound mystery, but I am talking about Christ and the church." Huh. How did that happen? For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife. The church is known as the bride of Christ. Anybody ever heard that term before?
Yep.
Okay, so it's over and over it's referred to as the bride of Christ. And of course, when it talks about the bride of Christ, it's talking about you and I as people. So we are the bride of Christ. Whether you're male or female, you still get to be the bride. Sounds kind of like the first, never mind. I'm behaving, I'm on live stream, but then he goes on to say this is a profound mystery. Why? Because it is a mystery. He's not talking about Adam and Eve in the garden, this is a quote unquote marriage. Jesus, the Word, we saw that, became flesh. He was unified, became one with humanity. Union. They became one flesh, Christ and the church. The importance of you and I to God is so huge that he literally became engulfed in us. He wrapped himself in all that we are. And I don't mean this pretty show up on church and smile and hug people us. I mean the when you just got cussed out and you cussing them out back. I mean when you sloppy drunk. I mean when you didn't have 3 or 4 unions that night. God has become wrapped in that. That's the mystery. Christ left his, we saw the Spirit was feminine, remember? We saw God as God the Father, and in the Word. So the Word left his father and mother and became flesh, became like you and I. Don't miss that. That is the power of union. Now, he cannot unidentify with us. He's forever in flesh. Forever. This is called kenosis. He emptied himself of his deity and became a man. That doesn't mean he's not God. That's not what that means, but it's a topic for Bible study. Anybody ever seen that before?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Is it Celtic?
No idea.
Is it Celtic?
Perhaps.
Elder Shield.
What's it look like to you guys? What do you see there?
Celtic cross, I think. I'm not sure though.
That's what I'm sure.
Describe it.
Fishes
Fishes, okay.
tied together.
It looks like Star Trek to me personally, I'm just saying.
Could see that. Those
I guess I
see
can
that.
see the fishes.
How many objects do you see?
How many what?
How many objects do you see?
1,
Three.
3.
2.
They're all entwined though.
Actually, two.
Well, except the silver one's not entwined, the gold ones are entwined.
Yep.
It's actually two.
Or maybe it's just bad drunk. 3.
This is something called perichoresis, our last Greek word for the day. It's used to describe relationship. It can be defined as co-indwelling, co-inerring, and mutual interpenetration. Inerring basically means like you're inextricably linked. Alistair McGrath writes that it allows the individuality of the persons to be maintained while insisting that each person shares in the life of the other two. An image often used to express this idea is that of a community of being, in which each person, while maintaining its distinctive identity, penetrates the others and is penetrated by them. That's what we're doing here, building that type of community. I'll be very candid with you. When I don't see your smiling face on Sunday, I cry. But when you're here, I feel fantastic. It's amazing. Because we're building this community where everyone matters. Everyone is involved. Yes, I stand up here and talk for an hour, but we're still in this together. It wouldn't be what it was if you were not here. And that's the idea of perichoresis. Co-indwelling, co-relationship, not codependency. It's a different thing, but interdependency. That's what our life is meant to be. That's why last week was so important when we discussed friendship, because this is not something you can just willy-nilly do with everyone. I didn't get no amens. I'm preaching real good right now. This is not something that you can just do with everyone. You're not excused from loving everyone, but this type of intimacy is not for everyone. Gandhi says the ideal that marriage aims at is that of spiritual union through the physical. The human love that it incarnates is intended to serve as a stepping stone to diving or universal love. So our marriages, our union, is supposed to be something that trains us to get along with everybody else. Who's the person that gets on your nerves the most from our married folks?
Your spouse?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to choke it sometimes. So, but I have learned through this relationship how to be kind to other people. Like Jake will tell you, I was not the most self-sacrificial person when we met, by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Yeah. But through our relationship, I've grown and learned to love. And that's the beauty of marriage. That's the beauty of union, is you learn to be a better lover in all aspects. Friendships do that to a degree, but there's no relationship that does it like a marriage. Let me hurry up because I'm almost out of time here. So why is union sacred? And we're coming down the home stretch. Well, union is the inception of life. Without union, there is no reproductive system. Makes sense, right? Kind of like very biological. That's where life begins, is in that union. Am I right?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Secondly, it creates a bond or an enduring connection. Married folks, is that right? Single folks that's been unionizing, is that right? What it does is it satisfies our need to belong. A lot of reasons people go out and unionize and everything that walks is they want to belong. They want to feel included. They want to feel loved. Am I right about it?
You're right.
We're gonna have to start calling that, giving our unionization on.
All right, union is sacred because it's mutually gratifying. And if it's not, you're doing it wrong.
That's Bible.
It's mutually gratifying. All relationships should be mutually gratifying. They're not. That doesn't excuse you from it. But they should be. If it's healthy, it will be. Friendships, acquaintanceships, all of it. And it's the peak experience of love. That moment when two become one in a physical way. It's supposed to be the expression of love. Quite different than the expression of hormones. I'm teaching good. I do it. All right, so last week we went over this, and we saw at the bottom, everybody's just people you've met. That's everybody in the world, your Facebook friends, all them too. But then some folks move up to the acquaintance level. And so those are folks you will hang out with, you go to the bar with, go to bowling, whatever. Those are acquaintances, not to be confused with friends. Then you move up a level after you've done some self-disclosure, you've gotten to know people, then they become friends. Then we talked about our squad. Everybody's getting their five, getting their squad. That's right. But something we didn't talk about last week is now added, and that's the number 1. And that correlates to the 5th thing, which is create spiritual openness. Now, I crossed out spiritual because it really extends beyond just the spiritual, and it's physical openness too, emotional openness. Because when you are in union with someone, most of the times that's when you're completely naked. You may never be naked any other time. Both physically naked, but also emotionally naked. Again, if you're doing it right. But this is at the top of the pyramid because it's not supposed to be a whole bunch of folks. It's not designed for people you've met. Oh, it got quiet. It's not designed for acquaintances, though it can be fun. It's not designed for friends. It's designed for the one. This is why once you've had that union, it's so hard to get rid of that person, particularly females. It's true of men too emotionally, but women in particular, partially because they're the receiver, they accept it in, but it's hard. Yes, sir.
So only one, we're saying that, you know, a polyamorous lifestyle or, you know, multiple wives and things like that, that's not as intended?
Absolutely. Without question. Now, as far as can you have a successful marriage with multiple people?
Are you sure? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. However, the relationship basis is still one where it's this body versus all these bodies. So
It's certainly divided at that point.
yeah, it's tough. I will tell you that that's for me in my house. It ain't gonna be no others. But you know, that's not really the topic. It still works even in a polygamous relationship, because scripturally, folks had a lot of wives. Now, of course, wives were also property. Another topic. All right, so let's tie all of this together. Make life, not war. When you have union outside of its proper context, you are creating a war. Now understand, a piece of paper does not make you married. Right? There are folks that have a piece of paper, they ain't married.
Amen.
However, this bond, this union, it's a promise your spirit is making to that person's spirit on a level you don't even understand. It's not meant to be broken. So humanity is the result of a beautiful union, and this union is described as one. When Jesus says the Father and I are one, that's this union thing. When he says, I wish that you will be one just as the Father and I are one, it's this union thing. We are made for love. It's our design. Secondly, union in its proper place creates life. Used incorrectly, it creates war. And I don't mean just physical life, but union in its proper place creates a life for the individuals, a life of love. If you're 70 and having union, it still can create life. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're doing it wrong, it can create heartache, it can create depression, it can create what Jay calls STDs, sexually transmitted depression.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. So, used in its proper place, it creates life. Third, union is intended to be the physical manifestation of a spiritual reality. So your union happens in the spirit first. Before you even consummate the act. It's a spiritual connection, which is why you gotta be careful who you unionize. Because your spirits are becoming connected. There's baggage that really does come with this. I'm not into that whole spiritual soul ties and stuff, but there is an element of truth into that. Fourth, union cannot be undone. That doesn't mean every person you have sex with, you have union with. Two different things. But union cannot be undone. What do I mean by that? Once you formed a union, once you entered into that circle of life, you're connected. It's impossible to be extracted. Jesus can't become disconnected from humanity. So if someone's ever told you you're separate from God, they lied. Nothing you can do can separate you from God because God has become you as part of this union. Now, again, to clarify, intimacy does not always result in union. So there are times you was drunk, that person was drunk, and y'all got your union on. Nothing happened.
Unionization on.
What about if when you say union cannot be undone, does that mean that you, if you were once with somebody like a strong union many, many years ago, that can't be undone because you connected then?
As far as the emotional tie, the weight that it carries on you, that can be worked through. So it's not a sense of bondage, but for example, once I have decided to, just make a simple example, a hug. I can't unhug you, I've already hugged you. It's done. So once you created this union, you have joined together. And in fact, science is now talking about, particularly with women, they carry the DNA of every sexual partner they've had.
You.
Well,
Not for me. That's a general you.
no, a friend. Concern for
That's a
friend.
general you.
Now, I do also want to clarify, you can definitely get rid of the weight of the baggage and the negative aspects of that union, for sure. We can get a fresh start, a fresh life, all of that. But
Sure.
as far as that union, it's forever spiritually. Now, physically, you may be distant and never talk again. But my first partner, and I wish I could say it was the person I love today, but it's not. But I still feel for that person on a very real level.
No.
I don't want to be with them at all.
Jason
But
Allen
on,
for
a
life.
but on a very real level, I still feel what they feel. I have a connection. It's just there. So, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. Let me look. Oh, okay. Our life steps. Can't forget that. And then we're going to have some music. Take 1 Corinthians chapter 13 to heart. So everybody read that. 1 Corinthians 13. It's only a couple verses. 4 verses. It's more than 4. Secondly, commit to life. Make life, not war. That means in your choices, what is this decision going to do? Choose life. Third, name and claim your kainos team, your squad. Talking about that, we need that. Get your 5 folks. Have them here on the 11th. Fourth, remember to love. That's always our life step. Remember to love. Love is an action. So just again, a little asterisk. Invite your friends. We got a Facebook event that'll be posted later today, the 11th. Invite your friends, like your whole friends list. I don't care if they come or not, just invite them. Yeah, we're gonna invite everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna invite everybody.
All right, that's it, guys. And you can sing with that one. Actually, you know what, Diane, are you okay with still singing?
Yeah, good.
Okay, well, come on up. Normally, we champions our theme song, but we've got a special singer in the house. I want you guys to be blessed by this amazing gift.
Before she gets started, if you haven't given and you'd like to give, you can either see me or see Anthony after service and you can give your gifts.
Thanks, Jen.
Now let's welcome Diane.
Wow, it's been a journey even getting here. Blimmin' heck, this morning. Crazy. So I'm just going to get into the space. This is a song I wrote, guys, called Heart's Desire. And it's about people living their dreams. Gotta turn it on. Alrighty. Okay, here we go. Sometimes we choose reality, not possibilities, and cast our dreams aside. There's no need to hesitate, no need to complicate. Just look to the other side and trust the strength you have within. You may just find your wings, 'cause when there's hope, there's a way to go home. There's a light at the end of the tunnel to your goals. And there's a joy to be had, a triumph to claim in your journeys today. Yeah, yeah. You may not know the answers to all the questions you have in your heart and mind. You may need to close your eyes, but don't be resigned. Just look to the other side and trust the strength you have within. You may just find your wings, yeah, 'cause when there's hope, there's a way to go home. There's a light at the end of the tunnel to your goals. And there's a joy to be had, a triumph to claim in your journeys today. 'Cause you can have it all, and just dive in and let it go. Flow, the river flows, and it's scary, yes I know, but it's not as scary as the fear that's taken hold. Just rise, and just rise, and rise, you, yeah, 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 rise, and rise, and believe, yeah, when there's hope, there's a way to go, there's a light
journeys today. Today.
Well, I can't think of a more appropriate way to end than that song. That's beautiful, your journey today. My God. So are there any prayer requests? Yes, I'm sure some out there.
I got a slew of friends that have lung cancer, so say a lung cancer.
Are they other dealers?
Hmm?
Are they other dealers or?
No.
No, I just was wondering because I had a talk with somebody about all that in the casinos.
Well,
so I
my
was curious.
friend, my friend who's a dealer, it's his wife, and she's going down quick.
So what other requests do we have? So lung cancer?
My back.
Your back
Continuing to
still?
heal.
My relationship?
Yeah. Same for you?
Yes.
I think we need a lot of healing in relationships in general. They're tough.
True that.
All right, you know how we do. Come circle up.
And you know since you're here. Called out.
God, we give you honor and glory today. We bless you for who you are. And thank you for the fellowship that we have one with another. We lift up the prayer requests that are there for just the physical healing that's needed. Lung cancer and any other ailments that our bodies may be facing, or the bodies of our friends. And we just, we know you to be God. And we believe in our hearts that if the Spirit can create us, the Spirit can heal us. And we thank you, Father, that your will would be centered around those people at this time, and that you would just bring the life to them that's needed, how you see fit. We pray for relationships, and just that our minds would shift, actually, that our minds would shift concerning them, and that as we embrace it as an identity, that from that would flow healing to all of our relationships, all of the types of relationships that we carry and that we have, and that the message and the heart and the identity and the image of love would flow from our very essence and from our very being, which you've created us in anyway. And we thank you that as we align to that, everything concerning all of our relationships will begin to align. Thank you, Father, that it not just be us that do it, but also those that are in close connection with us, that we are in relationship with. We thank you, Father, that ultimately that your light of love will continue to flow through our lives, not just today, but throughout the rest of the week. Any other requests that have been placed up, God, we lay them before you. You already know what they are. And we thank you, Father, that you are faithful even when we're not faithful enough to ask or even know how to ask. You know exactly how to come and flow and flood our lives. We give you honor and glory. We thank you for a glorious week. As we move forward, as we go forward, we thank you that your presence will ever be acknowledged and known in our lives, and that we will choose life, that we'll choose love, and that we'll choose light in the face of a world that's flooded with darkness. But even as it said in Scripture, that darkness did not overcome light. We thank you that that would be our story this week. We bless you, we honor you, we love you. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Now hug somebody and tell them you are there for them.
Well, at least it's a minute.
Right. I have one right
What's up, bro?
Imagine this all over here. I'm here for the man. I got you, man.
You guys are good. I'm gonna call you some bodyguards.
Okay, I like that. Carolina, but hopefully it's not the same.
I'm here for you. Appreciate your comments too. It's always fun to go
Compared to
back
other
to.
stuff I've seen, I see everybody walk
Yeah.
over to it, so.
You saw me.
Yeah.